Top TV, truth of the people.
All right, a very good evening to you and welcome to Fact Check Live here on Top TV. We have a lot lined up for you tonight, including the latest happenings that has been taking place here in the country, the Bonchari by-elections and also Juja constituency elections, plus also the Ruri ward by-elections that is in Nyandarua County, plus also the landmark ruling that saw the 5-judge bench in the High Court term the Amendment Bill 2020 as illegal, null and void. My name is Abel Omasete, and once again, good evening. With me in studio is Steve Muremi, who is an active citizen and a youth leader and will help us understand the current happenings here in the country and the future that lies for Kenya. Now, Steve, good evening, and let's start in Bonchari by-elections, where we saw that there was a serious contest between Francis Muraya of UDA and Peter Thinji. No, rather, that is in Ruri ward. I mean Bonchari, where there was Pavel Robert Omiek of ODM and Zebedeo Opore of Jubilee. The two fronted a sharp competition amongst themselves. What do you make of those results as you speak right now?
Thank you so much for inviting me this evening. I'm so glad to be here. And I'm to correct you a bit. I'm Merumi, not
sorry,
Muremi,
yeah.
but that's okay. So it's nice to be here. About the by-election that have been happening, the politics of Kenya is changing. And you can see that day by day. For example, in Ruri ward, in Nyandarua, that is perceived as the backyard for the Jubilee. But you see now, there comes the PEP party, but clinches the seat, which is associated with the UDA. UDA is a party that has been registered recently, and it's doing quite well, and we can't rule out the party, even come 2022. And what I can say about the ward specifically for Ruri is that the local politics are changing, and Jubilee should also work so hard so that they can retain their backyard. But we've also seen a lot of things happening in Jubilee.
Now, in Ruri ward in Nyandarua County, we saw that Francis Muraya, who is a candidate for UDA party that is allied to the Deputy President William Ruto, garnered a total of 4,303 votes, and he was declared the winner. And also in Juja constituency, we saw George Koimburi, who is the PEP, People Empowerment Party, where Moses Kuria is the alleged party leader. He is yet to be declared the winner, but he is on the lead. Do you think President Uhuru Kenyatta, as the Mount Kenya kingpin, is losing grasp in the Mount Kenya region?
What I can say, we cannot know that by the by-election that are happening, but it's true that he is losing a bit because of the back and forth in Jubilee that we've seen. Jubilee, it's like it's going to die, because you've seen for the spirits of handshake with his brother Raila Amolo Odinga, they give each other some sort of support in by-elections. So what we are saying, ODM is keenly to see that Jubilee is also losing some things. But you can see in Kisii, the ODM were also saying that there was some police harassment. So there's some fight between political parties. But what we can say, Moses Kuria seems to be delivering ahead of 2022, and we can see that he is allied to Deputy President. So maybe we can count him for the Deputy President, but for Uhuru Kenyatta, I think he has lost Moses Kuria.
Now, Steve, looking at those results in Mount Kenya region, can one now say that the Deputy President has earned a lot of ground that can interpret in 2022 that he can garner a lot of votes from the Mount Kenya region?
What I can say from that is that Mount Kenya, as people, we know that when it comes to election, they stand together. And we cannot also rule out that DP Ruto is doing a lot to make sure that the backyard supports him. You see, Deputy President William Ruto supported Uhuru Kenyatta wholeheartedly in 2013 and in 2017. And so there are some people on the ground, they feel that it is a time to give back some sort of reward to Mr. Ruto. But you see what happened to Sagana conference. It was a 3-day that changed everything on BBI, and everybody came to support Uhuru Kenyatta, the president. So what we can say is that come 2022, we are very sure that Kikuyu might unite, but as I've said, politics has changed. We have seen that even the MPs, member of county assemblies, have been allied to Mr. Ruto. It has never been seen to be like that at past. So what you are saying, in future, Ruto will get some votes from Mount Kenya, but not that high.
Definitely, Steve calling it the way as he sees it. Now, this is Top TV live on air, and the show is called Fact Check. You can weigh in by sending in your messages at Top TV and also at Abel Omashita. That is my handle, and I'll be sampling your views as the show goes on. Now, Steve, President Uhuru Kenyatta's tenure is coming to an end in 2022. Now, there has been talks that maybe former Kiambu Governor William Kabogo or even Peter Kenneth could be the likely contenders to succeed him as Mount Kenya Kingpin. What do you make of that? And also the fact that Moses Kuria did deliver yesterday in Juja constituency.
What I can say from the Mount Kenya kingship, kingpinship, Uhuru Kenyatta is still the kingpin. And during his tenure, the true tenure, no one from Mount Kenya that maybe has been brought to be seen to the public. And also at Sagana, you remember, President Kenyatta showed the Mount Kenya, the Mount Kenya region the direction. That tells you that he's still there and he'll still be in the negotiating table. And we've seen some people saying that he's young to go, like people like Mr. Atwoli. And you see when you hear of something, even if it's a rumor, it's coming. So maybe he's not planning to retire anytime soon. And that's where now the BBI...
And according to your perspective, will they vote as a bloc come 2022?
Come 2022, I think there's some, maybe 80%, but a complete block, I doubt that. Because DP Ruto has a lot of influence on ground right now. Yeah. And
also, last week on Thursday, we saw the 5-judge bench in Milimani High Court that annulled, or rather termed the Amendment Bill 2020 as invalid, or rather illegal, and so null and void. Now, Steve, what do you make of that ruling? Was it more of a political ruling, or what do you make of it?
Let me say first that the amendment of the Constitution should solemnly be the work and should be initiated by the Wanjiku. And in Article 257 of the Constitutions, that is a duty to be initiated by the Wanjiku. But see, the president or parliamentary, because they are representative of the people. But the president is not an MP. The president is the one who initiated the handshake, and then the BBI was born. But you see, I think the judges were okay with what they said, because for sure it was not a popular initiative from the people. It came from two people, and it was engineered, it was campaigned for, then it became the popular initiative.
Now, when you say it was an initiative that was engineered by the president, but in the Constitution, as we take a look at Article 1, or Article 256, 257, 258, it has not been stated clearly that the president, be it as a citizen or a president, he cannot initiate a popular initiative as it is. What do you make of that?
What I can say, whatever you are saying, it's true, but you see, it will come from the people. We are the majority. We are the one who speak. We are the one who have burdens. We are the one whom we are being led. So we are the ones to tell Mr. President, do this, then he can initiate from there. All our parliamentarians. But you see, BBI came, BBI started, they all went around campaigning for it. But you see, the court just said the steering committee was unconstitutional. So what you can say, the independence of the judiciary should be upheld, and people should respect the judiciary. And we've seen previously the judiciary and the executive fighting. So there might be some politics, but I doubt that.
Now, the Chebukati-led commission, that is the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, was termed as a commission that was not fully constituted, as in it had not met the quorum it's supposed to meet so as to conduct a referendum or even an election. Now, one may argue the by-elections that were conducted by IEBC, can they also be termed as illegal now that the IEBC is not fully constituted?
Now you see, now we love to throw the game to the judiciary and the blame, because in 2017-2013 there was also some rulings that said if we have 3 commissioners, anything can continue as usual. But you see, it has come again. The same judiciary is telling us it is unconstitutional. That is why I'm telling you that there might be some political inside everything.
Now, the BBI Secretariat, led by Junet Mohammed and Dennis Waweru, have gone, or rather have filed an appeal in the Court of Appeal. Do you think that that ruling made by the High Court can be overturned by the Court of Appeal?
I'm not that versed in the law profession, but what I can say is that I don't think they'll succeed.
Now let's dive into the Amendment Bill 2020. We saw that it proposed that 70 constituencies will be added to some counties. What do you make of such proposal?
You see, such proposals, I think, in my opinion, they are uncalled for. I don't think that there's a reason to add the constituencies. In fact, Mount Kenya was gaining much from that plan, and people can read it from, you know, for example, if BBI passes and there is prime ministership position, that means that parliamentarians will be the ones who will be voting. So you see, people have started seeing that maybe prime minister should come from the region. That is why they're adding more constituencies. But we are saying that that will bring more burden to the Kenyan people. And as you can see, Kenya now has a lot of loans to pay. Even recently the president applied for another one, and I think it is time that we stop mediocrity and lead the country forward in a good way. And even as we come to 2022, we need a president who will have very good economic policies. But
now then, Steve, one may argue, or how can you convince those of the mind that we want to pass this Amendment Bill 2020 because it increases the revenue from 15 to 35%? How can you convince that? How can you convince that person that BBI is not the way to go?
Now you see, me as Steve, personally, I want to be the member of County Assembly in a constituency, Taveta constituency, Mahoward. But you see, I'll be so happy if I receive 35% when I'm a member of County Assembly to work some projects to my people. But you see, it's unrealistic right now, because right now they're supposed to receive about 15%. But you can see, for example, some counties, even right now, they have no enough funds. Like my county where I come from, Governor Samboja on news recently, he said that the county is broke, can't even pay, and it's true. On the ground, doctors have not been paid. So what you can say, that is unrealistic and it will not happen. Maybe BBI has another aim, but not to increase money to the mwananchi. Because we have seen, even for the President Uhuru, the debt has been so high because he is the one who started to implement the new constitution. So there were MCAs, there's this CAS. So you see all of that, making him to go and borrow. So tell me about now that 5%. It will be a mess.
Definitely, this is a fact check. Make sure you weigh in your voices on fact check hashtag using the hashtag fact check, and also you can tag me at Abel Omasete at Top TV. We're going for a short break. See you on the other side.
Top TV, truth of the people.
All right, welcome back. The show definitely on air is Fact Check Live here on Top TV, and with me in studio is Mr. Steve, who is an active citizen and also a youth leader, and we have been discussing matters to do with politics and also the amendment bill that was termed illegal, null and void by the 5-judge bench in the Milimani High Court. Now, Steve, when you talk about the time frame, let's suppose we say the BBI bill has been given a go-ahead by the Court of Appeal. When you look at the time frames, we have an election next year in August. Referendum is supposed to be conducted between this month, that is June, to around August. What do you make of that time frame? Is it possible, or do you see it as very impossible?
Actually, the time frame, I remember I once heard Mr. Raila Amolo Odinga said that by June we should be having the new constitution. But you see, the time frame has been delayed, and the recently BBI judgment has also derailed the time frame. That is why some people think it is political to derail. But nobody doesn't want a good constitution for the Kenyans. And if it is a must, why can't it be held together with the general election next year? Yeah, then from there we can implement it going forward.
But when you say we conduct the referendum and the election together, some may say if an election, like for example the Juja by-elections, up to now we don't know who is the winner. So suppose we combine an election and a referendum, what next?
No, that needs some capacity building for the IBC, and that is their work, and they should see what they can do about it. Yeah.
Now, Steve, there is this initiative called the One Soul Africa that you started it. Now, look at that camera and help us convince that youth. Why should he or she join that initiative?
Yeah, thank you, Bwana Abel. And I also want to thank the youth who is watching, and I want to tell them that they should join One Soul Africa. One Soul Africa as an initiative is here to empower you as a youth, is here to help you, is here to guide you. We do a lot of programs, be it career guidance, be it leadership capacity building and training. And also we do mentorship in schools to also keep our young brothers and sisters with enough skills and life skills that will help them in future. The registration is free. You need not to pay anything. You just have to fill the registration form, which can also be sent to you. And by the end of this year, we should be registering and launching the Taveta constituency chapter of One Soul Africa, which we are going to also reach the youth who are there and also other people and help the community. Because in Taveta constituency, we also need to upgrade our education levels. So we need to do more of mentorship programs, more of youth-led programs, because as for youths, we are the leaders of today and tomorrow.
Now, even as we wind up, I want you to talk about, I think maybe in 2022 you have hinted that you'll be contesting for to be an MCA in Taita Taveta. Why will you want to be an MCA?
So thank you for the opportunity, Bwana Abel, and I want to speak to the people of Mao Ward and tell them why they should vote for me. Na ningependa pia nichukue fursa hii kwa sasa niongee kwa lugha ya Kiswahili, ndio kila mmoja kule, awe mzee, awe mtoto mdogo, awe kijana, aweze kunisikia. Ningependa kuwarai kwamba ifikiapo mwaka 2022 mkaze kunipigia nikaweze kuwa mwakilishi wadi wenu. Tazama, ni wadi ambayo katika maendeleo bado iko nyuma, na imefika ni wakati sasa kubadilisha uongozi. Nipende kusema kwamba kukuwa mwakilishi wadi, mambo ni mengi. Kuna mambo kule bungeni ambayo unafaa kuyafanya. Kuna maendeleo huwezi yaleta kama hujapeleka miswada na ikapitishwa kule bungeni ili tukaweze kupata sheria bora. Vile vile mimi nimeweza kuwa kiongozi kwa siku mingi toka shule. Nikiwa katika shule ya upili pale Kitobo, nikaweza kuwa mwanafunzi ambaye pia alikuwa ni kiongozi wa wanafunzi wengine. Nilivyoenda katika college pia nikawa kiongozi wa wanafunzi. Na katika shughuli zote nilizozifanya katika kundi hili la One Soul Africa, pia ninafikiri imefika ni wakati sasa niingie katika siasa hii ili nikaweze kuwaongoza vizuri watu wangu, kwa maana tumepitia mambo mengi siku mingi, na ni wakati sasa inabidi tubadilishe mwelekeo wetu. Tazama sasa tunataka kufanya siasa si za ugawanyifu kikabila, tunataka siasa za kutuleta pamoja, siasa za matumaini, siasa ambazo zitatufanya sisi kama wananchi tukaweze kukua. Tumechoka na umaskini, na hilo ndilo lengo kuu. Tunafaa tupigane na umaskini. Asanteni sana, na nitaomba tusimame pamoja.